Chico, the Chico, the Chico.
Alright, welcome back to Chronicles of a Worthy Lifestyle. You guys, I have two very special guests today. Can you guys introduce yourselves to the Worthy gang?
My name is Rel, Terrell, Rich Kid Rel. That's what they call me, from Philadelphia, Uptown to be exact. And I'm sitting here with Oso Juicy.
Yes.
We working.
Yeah, always working, you know. Uptown, Philadelphia. My name KT. Everybody know me as KT. You know, on the gram you can follow me as Shot to You. Shot to You Empire. You know, just working. We mean staying positive, good vibes only.
Tell them a little bit briefly about what you guys do, because we're going to go get into it a little bit more at the end of the interview, but just tell them briefly what you guys do.
Okay, as of right now, I'm an artist and I do business too. Telecommunication, data networking. My bro.
I got a nonprofit organization I started when I first came home. Been home about 6 months. Rich at Heart nonprofit organization. I also have a pest control company that's called Carmani's Pest Control. I started that about 4 months ago as well. Just trying to hustle for my last name, leave my son a legacy, something he can have when I go.
Alright, and since you guys are brothers, I don't know if we said that, you guys are brothers, I want you guys to tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you came from. I know we said Uptown, and like what was your family life like?
Well, we grew up in Mount Airy, you know, basic coming up, but we always knew that we wanted more in life after a while, you know. I was kicked out at 16 years old by I was living with my grandfather. His wife never really got along with me. So at the end of the day, I was kicked out at 16 years old. I drew little brother under the wing with me, you know, and ever since then it's just been go, go, go. We always wanted more. We moved to Atlanta to do music. We were doing music we met some of the top artists. We've been hanging around the top artists in Atlanta, from 2 Chainz, Dollar Boy. We recorded at Travis Porter Studio, CTE, Jeezy. We used to go to all the video shoots, the pool parties, everything, but we weren't getting the exposure that we needed, so we had to branch off. You know, everybody's out for themselves at one point, right? And we needed to be in it for us, so we had to branch off.
Like Big Bro just said, you know, we are brothers. We basically, like my fiance says, my fiance Kareem always tell me, y'all basically raised each other. And it's true, you know, I jumped off the porch, as they would say, at a young age. I got into the streets at a young age, started messing up, not going to school. Percocets started the highway to hell for me. I was on the road, bad road. I was speeding too, going fast, on the highway to hell, taking Percocets every day, doing things that I would never imagine I would do. I was doing everything to get money, to get Percocets. Once you start an addiction, it becomes part of your lifestyle. You tend to want to do any and everything to get your high. I was stealing, I was robbing, I was taking from my own family members, you know, from my own mother I was stealing from at a time. It was really, really bad. And I went away for 2 years in prison, and that was a blessing in disguise. At the time, I didn't understand what it was, you know. But I believe that God had a bigger plan for me. He wanted me to share my story. He wanted my testimony to get out there so that I can help somebody, you know. And that's why I founded Rich at Heart nonprofit organization, because I want to be a big brother to another younger man. You know, I see a lot of young men that's just like me when I look at them, and it's just a younger version of me headed on the wrong path. And I had to go to Cole Township for 2 years, and I don't want to get too much into it right now, but it opened my eyes. It was detrimental to me. It really opened my eyes. It was a blessing in disguise. The trials and tribulations I went through to put me where I am today, and I'm still building, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still making mistakes, still got flaws. But
and not to cut in anything that he's saying, but at the end of the day, God do everything for a reason. You feel me?
Everything for a reason.
He was definitely shooting hard, you know, going down the wrong path to the point where it was like because I was into the streets so heavy, it was people coming to me like, look, bro, I'm going to give him a pass because that's your brother at the end of the day. But I even called him and let him know, like, at certain times he even did things to me. But you already know.
I probably wouldn't be here today, y'all. To be honest, if I didn't go to jail, I might not be here, y'all. I might be on a t-shirt. I might have been sitting in the cell doing life right now. My mom might be coming to my grave right now and putting flowers on it. Just being honest,
So
man.
I definitely want to tell the youth to slow down with the drug usage. I know that is the end thing or the cool thing at one point, but it
ain't cool.
It becomes more than just
It
a
ain't
habit
cool.
after a while. It's
You're not
an
affecting
addiction.
you no more. You're affecting your family. You're affecting your loved ones, everyone around you. I was affecting everyone.
Especially
I was
if you got a
affecting him.
child, you know?
I was
Especially
affecting
if
my-
you got a child.
Especially if you got a
gotta
child.
live for them.
I was affecting my wife, affecting my mom, everybody. I would make up stories just to get money to get high. I look back now and it wasn't worth it.
It was to the point where we were doing not to incriminate ourselves, so we were doing things, you know, and we were getting up to $5,000 a piece a day, and it was going straight to the Percocet, man. You feel me? Like, I would have loved to be our dealer at one point. You feel me? Because it was just in our hand and right out the hand. You feel me? And then it came to the point where his fiance actually pointed it out to us. He said, "You see the dude that y'all buying perks from every day? You notice that he got his wife a car. He done built up a whole new porch outside. He done renovated his whole house. And who you think he been renovate? Who you think he get the money from? Y'all two." Like, it was to the point where he knew we were calling every single day to come through to spend at least $500 with him every day.
And not to cut him off, but the thing about it is when we keep talking about the drugs is because that's the start. That's what started it all. When you start an addiction, a bad addiction, your mind is clouded, your judgment is bad, and you tend to do things you wouldn't do. You tend to hurt your own family members, your loved ones. You know, I was carrying guns. I was on a whole lot of stuff. I'm not gonna get into it right now. We're gonna go further in the interview as the questions go. I don't want to pay everything all at once, but you know, drugs played a big part. It played most of the part on why I went to prison, and actually, I thank God I did go to prison. I thank God I did have my addiction. I thank God that I did lose friendships. I thank God that I went through the things I went through because it saved me. It saved my life. Like I said, I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for me going away. The blessings in disguise. So you know,
A lot, you know, and
deep.
And I don't regret nothing that ever happened, you know, because at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, before the camera came on, I think that everything you go through in life builds character. It makes you who you are today. It's how you handle it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I'll leave it at that.
My question for you, Terrell, how did you, while you were in prison, strengthen your mind instead of allow your mind to kind of deteriorate like some people, it happens to some people while in that institution, since it's so terrible?
See, well, my thing was I had a son out there. I had a family still. A lot of people in prison, they go to prison, they have nobody, no support system, no loved ones that care. They don't get no letters. I had a strong support system. I had family that cared, and I said to myself, I can't give up on them. I can't let them give up on me. The biggest thing for me was praying. I talked to God so much in there. I made him promises. I spoke to him so much, and I walked by faith. That's what I did. I had to walk by faith. You know, I couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to put a plan together and go home and do this. Nothing can be done without God. I don't care what nobody say. God got me through everything I've been through, and he's still getting me through things as I go along. And I stayed in there, I prayed, I stayed focused. All the plans I wanted to conquer when I got home, all my goals and aspirations, I wrote them down in my cell, and I would look at that every day. I taped it up to my cell wall, and I looked at it every day and said, when I get home, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to remain sober. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to be a father. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get my business going. And I stuck to my plan. And I executed it.
You hit the ground running.
Stuck to my plan, and now everything is going to prevail because God says so, not because I said so.
Right.
not because I said so. Man's plan and God's plan is often different, and God's plan was different than mine. Me and him had a lot of talks in that cell lonely. I'm in a prison with 2,500 people, but I'm by myself still.
And
You don't know the feeling.
And not to get real religious with everybody, you know, because I know everybody serves a different God or how they do, but we are praying to one person at the end of the day. Like, we may call them a different name and all that, but we are praying to one person at once. And some people may not be religious, like me. I go by my spirit. I'm a very spiritual person. You feel me? I go by my spirit. But if you're a religious person, go by your religion. Just follow the way your spirit is telling you, or what your vibe is telling you. Because every time I ever gotten in any trouble, it was because I went against my own vibe or that own gut instincts. That your gut's never gonna lie to you. Something bad gonna happen. Your gut gonna tell you like something bad about to happen, bro. Either get out of this situation or you're gonna have to stand on what comes with it. So not to knock anybody's religion, you know.
I know you spoke a little bit about living with your grandparents. What about your parents? What were they in your life? Were they involved?
So we have different fathers.
Okay.
My father, well, I've been living with my grandparents since I was 8 months. You feel me? He came grandparents later on.
Okay.
But since I was 8 months, my grandfather took me out of my mom's custody. Out of my mom and my father's custody because they were still young. My mom had me when she was 18, or 17. My dad was 19. Dad in and out of trouble, and my mom actually developed an alcohol addiction and a drug addiction too. So thank God she's clean. She's been clean for 5 years now. And she's been doing her thing. She just bought her own house. She just bought her house, car, everything.
Gotta do it.
She changed her life around completely.
Good.
Completely. I'm proud of my mom for that.
amazing.
Hey, mama.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms. But yeah, coming up, we really had a loving coming up, bringing up. Like we didn't go through a lot of rough stuff like some children went through. You know, not being able to have good clothes going to school. We weren't a part of, like, not saying that we had the best clothes going to school, but we definitely weren't at a loss for anything. Growing up with the grandparents, you know, like, growing up with our parents, we wouldn't have had as much.
Right.
You know?
So do you?
It was still a blessing.
Right. Okay.
I feel like coming up with our grandparents, that was a major blessing.
Do you think it impacted you in any way?
Of course.
Having.
It gave me a lot of morals. I've been traveling since a young child too. I've been in London. I lived in London for almost 2 years. I lived in Africa.
How was that?
Great. I loved it. I've been to Africa international school. I went to American International in Ghana, Accra, Ghana, and that was awesome too. And I also been to plenty of high schools in Philadelphia and in Florida, back and forth. Like, you would have thought we came out of a military family, how much we traveled.
That's right. That was the next question.
Yeah, but it was a military family. Like, my dad's side of the family is Jamaican.
Okay.
So I've been going to Jamaica since day one, since I was born, back and forth. So traveling was always a major role in our life. And I think that's why that gave a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of being able to look at things in different aspects.
Right, and from different perspectives.
And appreciating things differently.
Right.
Because a lot of people think that we have it hard. Like, when you go through a little stressful or a rough path, a rough patch in life, you think that you have it hard. And if you can look at your life from a different person's aspect, from another person that's having it way harder, that gotta walk 2-3 miles just to get a drink of water, you know, and bring it back to their family, then you will look at your life and say, man, I can go turn on my faucet right now and get some water, and it's drinkable. Like, you will look at life and say, damn, my life is not as hard as I think, and we're making it out to be.
You'll change that perspective, that thought process.
Exactly.
And that kind of changes everything, how you look at everything.
You'll look at things and say, look, I can make something out of this. I can make something out of this because we have access to it.
Right.
It's people that don't have access to it and still make things out of nothing.
Right.
So if we have access to all these things, why we can't make something happen?
Exactly.
Gotta make
Exactly.
something happen.
You guys have an amazing, crazy story. Now, did you travel as well as much
Yes.
as he did?
Yeah. Not as much because I was younger at the time.
Right.
Yeah, definitely though. Definitely seen a lot of different places, and
And
like you said, it
every
just
time I
brought a
moved,
different outlook on life, man.
like when I left at 16, every time I moved, I brought him with me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that was kind of a bad decision too, because he should have been in school a lot of these times.
Mm.
I moved to Norristown, I brought him with me. I moved to Florida, brought him with me. Atlanta, he was right there with me. And he learned, the thing that I'm thankful for is that he learned that there's more to life than just Philadelphia.
Right.
Where some people haven't left a 3-block radius.
Right, and they're stuck in that kind of
Stuck in that
mindset.
box. You feel me? He's still good to think outside of that box,
Right.
regardless of going to jail or anything.
Which would probably help him
Which
get to
made
where
him be a
right.
better man today.
Today.
I'm telling you. Because the route he was going down, route we were going down, it was just straight destruction. Straight destruction. It was good money, but it's straight destruction.
What is your why and your inspiration for what you're doing, both of you?
My inspiration for what I'm doing is, to be honest, I just want to be able to help change one person's life. I mean, I'm 25 years old, and I see a lot of these young guys out here on Instagram and in person, and they running around carrying guns, doing this and that. And what I went through for 2 years, I don't think people really explain it. Like, if you've never been to prison, I don't think people really understand it. Like, I think they hear about it, oh, you go to jail in the cell every day, but I don't think people really understand it. Like, it's been times, like, you just feel violated sometimes, like, rights and all that and all this stuff. You don't have none of that in prison. All you are is a state number. You 2 letters and you're 4 numbers after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of your rights are just violated. A CO might want to come knock on the cell, come in strip search y'all. You and another man, you gotta watch. You know what I mean? Like another man touching you and all that, and it's just crazy. And that's my inspiration. Like I don't want my son to go through what I went through. You know, I feel like I went through it, and now I can tell my son about it, and I'm going to work hard, extra hard, to make sure he never goes into a jail cell. I'm going to work extra hard to make sure he never takes a drug. You know, I believe that that's my inspiration is the youth, the future. You know, it was a time where I didn't really, not say I didn't care about the next generation, but I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, I was running by myself. I was self-centered. I was selfish. I was ignorant. You know, I didn't care about nobody else and nothing else. So my inspiration is the next generation, my child. You know, his son. You feel me? My nephew. My daughter. I have a daughter as well too. You know what I mean? And that's my inspiration. I want to just help change somebody and want them to see like, yo, that ain't what you want to do, bro. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to do that. You want to eat bullshit. Excuse my language, but you want to eat bullshit every day. The food is trash. You got somebody telling you what to do, when to do it. Upstate now, in all the state prisons now, you get 2 phone calls a day. 15 minutes a phone call. And I've been stressing a lot to people that you can't be no phone call dad. You can't be no visiting room on a Sunday dad once a month. 15 minutes on the phone trying to talk to your daughter or son. You can't do that from a prison. You can't go in a visitor room for 3 hours once a month or twice a month whenever your family can get up there and try to raise your child from a visitor room. Is that fair to them? You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to nobody. And I always tell people that my opinion is the closest thing to hell. I done met people up there, yo, that's never coming home. They got life, you know. And I built a bond with them. I put money on the phone. I just hung up with my friend. He just called me. He got 18 years in for killing somebody allegedly, you know. And it's like, it's real, man.
You gotta block your whole mind
it's
from
real,
the
yo.
outside world once you get those type of numbers. When it start being numbers and you start seeing letters,
yeah,
that's when
like
people start realizing like that's when it hits them. Like
it hits you, it's real.
It's too late when it hit you like that.
You get the greater for the first one of the first thing they ask you is if you die, where you want your body shipped. You know what I told them? I said I don't got no address to send it to. I'm going home. That's what I told the CO. He's what? There's nowhere to ship my body. I'm going home. God got me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go home. I'm going to change my life. You feel me?
Yeah, my inspiration is definitely my 2 sons. I have 2 children. One is 3, and he's 9 months old right here. His children, you know, I look at them like my children too. You feel me? And I'm just a major dad figure, period. Like, you could bring your child around me, and I'm a major dad figure. So it's just for all the children, all throughout our community, throughout the world right now that's going through the struggles.
And no father figures.
No father figure, because a lot of father figures are out of the household right now.
In jail or just don't want to be with the mom.
That's been a setup. Like, this thing has been set up. We've been brainwashed for a long time. I don't want to get deep into that neither, but we've been brainwashed for a long time for the women to have the male outside of the household and the women raising
That's why they create the welfare
and
system.
that's why a lot of these men are feminine and all these, like, we're not gonna get in that neither. But anyway, I'm just saying, if you not doing it for yourself, do it for somebody else, your family. Your family want to see you strive. And if you don't do it for them, do it for your haters. You feel me? All the people that say you were never going to make it, never do nothing. No, you're never going to be nothing. You don't got to turn around and resort to violence when people talk negative. You kill them with success. Success is the worst killer, I'm telling you. I see people want to pass out when they see you drive through with that new car that they say you were never going to get, or that new chain they thought you were never going to have. You feel me? Or that new house you were never going to buy for you and your peoples. When you do things like that, you kill your haters with success, and you haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing but positive vibes. Karma's a bitch. So
Yes,
if you got
it
good
is.
karma following you, you're going to win every time.
How did you get to that mindset of killing with success? I tell my kids this all the time, but they're always like, well, Miss Alice, what if a girl come up to me and she's just disrespectful? And I'm like, you can walk away as long as you don't put your hands, because I believe in self-defense.
Self-defense.
But how did you guys both get to the point where you were able to kind of control those emotions
Because
not
like I said,
let your pride get in the way?
Traveling plays a big part in that too. Like, when you go to places like, let's just say Atlanta, and you see black people. Atlanta is one of is the state of the richest. Well, Georgia is the state of the richest African Americans in the world. Well, in America. And when you see people are able to get money together, and people of our color are like the people downtown that runs downtown,
Right.
and they're wearing the suits and ties, and you notice that you can be that. You can do those things. You can own businesses. It's easy to open up a business. It's easy to live. It's easy to own a home.
All right, now let's get into like what you guys are doing now, your careers. Tell me about your nonprofit and your businesses, and then also your entertainment career.
Well, right now I got the Rich at Heart nonprofit. I came up with the name from, my name is Rich Kid Rel, but it's not like money rich. I'm talking more so like deeper than money. Like rich in spirit, rich at heart. It's more than money for me. Money is not everything. Money cannot bring happiness. It can't bring joy. I've then heard and seen people with the most money, successful people, commit suicide.
Right.
It's deeper than money. So like I came up with that, the Rich at Heart nonprofit organization, because I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back. God has been blessing me this past 6 months. I've been home from prison. He's been blessing me tremendously, to the point where it's like I can't just accept these blessings. I have to give them back out. And I believe that in life, in the 48 Laws of Power, I read while I was in prison. I read the 48 Laws of Power, and the energy you give out in the world is the energy you will receive. So I feel as though that if I'm receiving these blessings, God wanted me to go bless someone else. So that's why I started the nonprofit. I'm not trying to make any money. It's nonprofit. I'm giving back. I just gave away a few coats. I went to Primark and spent about $500 on coats, winter coats for kids. It wasn't a whole lot.
When he said he's not trying to make any money, nobody does anything too much for free. But it is a nonprofit organization.
It's a nonprofit organization. I didn't set it up to say I'm trying to get money from this. I have other platforms and avenues I make money from. I still go to work 40 hours a week. I still have my pest control company, so I'm getting revenue that's generated through that. My projected numbers are actually doing really well with my pest control company, thanks to God again. But the nonprofit though is just like I just want to give back to the community. When I was younger, I had a group of friends I would hang out with, and they didn't all have the Dickies on that we was wearing and the new Jordans my mom got me. You know, they didn't have those type of things. And I see children today who need winter coats. You know, they don't have these kind of things.
Right.
The mom is doing drugs or chasing after a man who don't care about them. So it's like I feel as though it's my duty to give back. It's my duty to try to spread my blessings as much as I can. So that's why I started the Rich at Heart nonprofit. The Carmani's Pest Control I'm doing as well. That's my other business. It's in my son's name, Carmani. Like I said, I'm hustling for my last name. That's the biggest thing with me, hustling for my last name. My son and my daughters are everything. That's who I do it for. That's why I have the pest control, the nonprofit, and those are the things that I want to keep building so that by sooner or later I can quit my regular 9-to-5 job. I don't want to keep helping build another man's dream. That's all, you know, I want to build my dream. So that's why I decided to go into entrepreneurship so I can build my own dream and I can have a legacy to leave behind for my children.
Because what we realized that at a young age is that when we was coming up is like generational wealth. You know, our parents never left behind anything for us. Honestly, my grandfather is still working to this day. You know,
Gotta break them cycles.
and it's like we definitely gotta break that cycle in our community and in our black communities. Like, because I've been around people that had generational wealth where their family always left behind something, even if it's the smallest of business, they're going to generate wealth for the rest of their life from that business. Or if they left behind some type of account, some type of anything you can leave behind for your name. Like, I'm a full-time dad. I got him in the interview with me, you know. So anything you can do to build generational wealth is you're gonna win, regardless. If you was to die today or tomorrow, what would your family do? And that's what you gotta look at life at. Not only life insurance and things like that. That money go right on your funeral, you know, or that money goes right on the bills you owed before. But when you have things already set up and established, and you can just pass it on down, you feel more comfortable in life, and you feel like you've accomplished something. More than building another person's dream. Like, I'll be damned if I sit in a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life making somebody else a multi-millionaire when I know I can make myself a multi-millionaire.
And don't get me wrong, guys, not to cut them off, but sometimes you have to. You can't start it. You can't. Yeah, it's a stepping stone because you can't. If you want to start a business or something, where are you going to get the revenue from, the income from? Right. So sometimes you have to work in order to get where you're trying to go. You know, Steve Jobs and all them, they had to work a job before in order to get that income, the finance their business or finance their whatever it is you're trying to do in life. You know.
So I never look at anybody funny with a 9-to-5.
Yeah, I don't want to send a wrong message out, guys. It's nothing wrong with the job. Like I said, I work 40 hours every week. I want my son to see his dad goes to work every day. I want him to see that I'm a hard-working man. You know, your children watches everything you do. They're like sponges, and they soak up everything. So I feel as though like I have to lead by example and show him that this is the right thing to do until I can get to the next step.
But you also want to know that a 9-to-5 is just a stepping stone. You don't want to become a company man, you know, where I'm going to climb the ladder of this company, but the guy who owns this company is never going to make me as successful as him, or anywhere near as successful as him, because once that comes, then I won't be working for him no more, and then that'll take money back out of his pocket. So you use your 9-to-5 as a stepping stone, or whatever you're doing right now, to generate money as a stepping stone to put it in something that's gonna generate you way more money and make you your own boss. You always want to be your own boss at the end of the day.
Also, my Rich at Heart nonprofit, being that it's wintertime now, we just started every Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 9:30 at Norristown Transportation Center. Free continental breakfast, hot coffee, hot tea from 7 to 9:30 every Saturday and Sunday. We're going to make sure that, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And it's getting cold out. It's a lot of people that's less fortunate. And I live in King of Prussia, but I'm like literally 15 minutes from Norristown. So it's a lot of poverty and homeless and drug addicts, and people need food. So like I said, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 9:30, Norristown Transportation Center, free hot coffee, free hot tea, donuts, and everything. You know, it's winter time, and we're just trying to give back and just do the right thing. And as we get our blessings, we're going to keep on blessing people. Just going to keep doing it like a cycle. That's all.
Cycle, right there. That's the major cycle. You know? And my business is data, telecommunication, and networking, where I have a major contract with Home Depot right now, where I'm installing the PVMs, which are the screens that you're able to see yourself on, and the cameras for loss and prevention. So that's been going real good for me right now. I'm trying to pick up other companies with a name like Home Depot. I'm starting to do McDonald's next month. I'll be doing McDonald's. They're changing from having people take your order. They're gonna have a touch screen where you know, even though that's taking away jobs, but you know, that's giving me a job.
Right.
So I can't knock it. And I'll be installing those computers. Same thing with the music. We're looking for talented artists. I'm a reggae and hip hop artist myself. He does hip hop. I wouldn't consider myself as a rapper because we really make music, the hit music, we write for others also, publishing company too. So at the end of the day, anything that you're good at, use it to your advantage, and trust me, there's a market in it.
And don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something, that you're not good at something. Because 2 years ago, before I went to prison, everybody threw the towel in on me. Family members, all that. I mean, everybody gave up, washed their hands on me, done with him, throw him out, put him in the trash. He's done, he's over. That's what everybody thought 2.5 years ago. To be honest, I thought that by myself too. 2.5 years ago, I thought it was over. You know, like I said, kept praying. I was, you know, God makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes, and today is like we're better than we were yesterday. Every day we're just trying to get better, just trying to do more. And as we grow and as our companies grow, we're going to be able to put other people in positions to, you know, do for their family. And I hope this is motivation to others as well, because like I was just talking about the inspiration. I want to motivate others. I want them to see like, wow, if he could do it, I can do it, you know? And I'm not even close to where I want to be at in life, but I know I'm on the right track. I'm on the right path. I'm not doing things I was doing 2 years ago. So I feel like that as long as I continue and keep focused, you're going to have detours, you're going to have roadblocks in life, but you just got to keep going. There's a famous quote that I always say, that God gives his biggest wars to his strongest soldiers, and he had me in a hell of a war for the past 2 years, but he knew I was a strong soldier. I like to compare it to like jewelry, like I told on the Instagram post that you know, God treat us like his precious jewelry, you know, like how a jeweler will put his diamonds in a safe and lock them away to keep them preserved and safe. That's what God did with my life. He knew he had something precious, and sometimes he gotta lock you away to preserve you and save you. And I feel like that's what he did. He locked me away to save me, to preserve me, so nothing bad happened, you know. So my life wasn't stolen. And now it's time to shine.
Yes, it is.
We also just ventured off into our real estate business.
Time to shine now, you know.
We just came back from checking on our first rental property that we got fully furnished right now. It's very beautiful property. Man, it's so much different aspects that you can make legal and legit money without getting into any trouble.
Yep. With social media nowadays, especially.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's so easy now.
It's so easy.
You know, thanks to social media. Hey, thank you. You know, Instagram,
it destroys
Facebook,
a lot of lives, and it helps.
Yeah.
It's all about what you do with it.
Right.
Not what you do.
It could be a distraction,
or it could be a tool.
It's all about what you make of it. You know,
like
it was a time that social media, I was doing the wrong things on there. You know, and there's probably people to this day that still feel, so I look at it.
Because I honestly feel like everyone is here for a reason. Everybody's not going to make it. Everybody's not going to be that successful person. There has to be workers. There has to be, but there's certain people that are here for a certain reason.
Right.
Like I was saying before the camera came on, I got shot 2 times last year, out of 16 times. The person shot at me 16 times for jewelry. And I was hit twice, and I could have died. People die from one gunshot, And around that time, my son wasn't even born yet. He was conceived a week or two before I got shot. And I feel as though I'm here for a reason.
God had a bigger plan for him.
Because I've been in major car accidents where you'll look at the car and say, damn, is the person still living? Yeah.
God had a bigger plan.
Right.
For the two of us, he had a bigger plan.
Yeah, like if you look at where I fell at after I got shot, it's like dents all around me. Like it was an angel hugging over me, because all the dents and the steps around me where I fell, it was 16 shots intended for me. Only 2, and they all went in and came out.
God's plan, man. Plans is different.
I still got a bullet fragment in my left testicle. You feel me? Like crazy shit like that when you want to be out here in the streets. So you just gotta think about
The streets don't love nobody, y'all. Like he just said, speaking of the streets don't love nobody. They don't love you. They don't love me. People out here warring over blocks that their mom renting houses on or on Section 8 on.
Exactly. And when you die, your mom gotta have a fish cell to bury you.
The streets don't love nobody, yo. And sometimes it take others to go through more situations to find out about that. But the streets don't love you. And I hope that one person just feel where I'm coming from, and they envisioning what I'm saying. They living vicariously through me right now and understanding what I'm saying. And hopefully they say, I don't want to go through that. Like I was saying earlier, they don't really tell y'all know about jail, but y'all don't really know like what really goes on. Like you the stress, the mental stress, you leaving. I have children at home. I have a son and a daughter in the house. My rent. I live in King of Prussia. Our rent is $1,400 a month. I left my fiance out there to pay everything by herself. I didn't have no money put away. I wasn't no big Willie and had money in a tuck for 2 years. She had to struggle. She had to do it on her own and still take care of me. I'm a grown man, and I'm calling you home, babe. Can you send me money for food? Can you put money on a phone call for me?
Too,
you feel me?
At the end of the day, he was a big Willie. If
you
you want to be quote unquote a big Willie, but all our
money
money
was going to drugs.
Was going to drugs, or having fun. Going to the
club. How selfish is that? You go away to prison and you got ask your baby mom or your mom that they already on a fixed income, and you asking them to send you money every week so you could live comfortable in jail. Because of the decisions that you made, though.
Right. The
decisions you made them decisions. So now you calling home every week, trying to get money together, trying to beg for money, this and that. Mom, I need money for the lawyer. Mom, I need money for this. I need money for that. And it's just, it ain't fair all around the board. You're not just affecting you. When you make bad decisions in life, you affecting you. You affecting everybody around you. And as men, we got to do better. We got to do better. As men, we have to do better. Females too, but we gotta do better, y'all.
Yeah.
Before I give y'all my contact information, I'm just begging y'all, like everybody, like try to kick the habit. Whatever bad, negative habit you have, like I got an EP dropping called Big Bad Habits, and it's just talking about me. It's really my life story, on the habits that I've taken up, the habits that I've kicked, and the habits that I'm still fighting with to this day, you feel me? Like, this shit right here, kicked that shit, tore it down the toilet, syrup, no good. Perks, no good. Any opioid, no good. Any mental medication, like benzos, Xannies, no good. If you want to smoke your little weed, smoke weed. You feel me? I never seen anybody die from that. But all this shit right here, no good.
Drugs, everything, negative energy. Not even just drugs. Any habit you got.
Yeah.
Any negative habits,
stress
kick it, yo.
Stress will kill you.
Any negative habits, kick it. It ain't good. It ain't good to have negative energy around you. It affects your daily living. It affects the people around you. It's just
if you got negative people around you, man. Kick them. It could be your wife.
It's not cool.
You feel me? It could be your husband, and you think that person is not for you 100%, then you gotta get rid of them. I know you comfortable with them. You've been around them for a long time, but like I said, there's a billion people in this.
You gotta worry about you.
You gotta fix yourself.
You gotta worry about you.
Fix anybody else.
You gotta worry about you.
And that's the main reason I'm doing me right now. I'm single right now. I got a 9-month-old, but
I'm not single. Fiance, she held me down for 2 years, y'all.
Amen.
Seriously.
Shout out to her.
She's a great person. Karima, shout out to Karima. Without her, honestly, I don't think I would have made it through a lot of things I made it through. She was my support. Before I went upstate, the judge sentenced me to the state sentence. I went back to the hole, and I called her and told her, I said, babe, they sending me upstate. What we gonna do? She said, we gonna do what we kept doing. What you mean what we gonna do? I'm gonna come see you and bring the kids every week. We gonna put the money on the phone. The commissary, ain't nothing gonna change. And I'm gonna see you at the gate when they let you out. And that's what happened. And we still here. And the wedding, we getting married this new year. So big shout outs to her. Big shout outs to God. Big shout outs to Also Juicy. You can follow me Instagram, Rich Kidrelly, RichKidrelly. Rich at Heart is a nonprofit. That's it.
What about you? Where they can find you?
You can definitely find me on the gram at Shatta _ No, it's King Shatta, I'm sorry. I'll be switching my gram name so much. King KYNG _ SHOTTA. King Shatta. You can find me on, I don't do the Facebook thing too much. But yeah, I do Instagram very heavy. You can look up music videos under Thoroughbreds, THUROWBREDZ. That's one word, you know, and it's music videos, and we're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep working. I'm so thankful for Also Juicy for having us out here, you know, to spread some type of positive energy, you know.
That's what we're here for.
That's all I'm here for, positive vibes only, you know.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.